Hey guys, welcome back to the series of ChatGPT Plays Civ 6. I'm Runner King, and this is our game. Remember, we're playing as Shaka, the Zulu Empire. We have one city down with a settler being produced in 4 turns. We have this Arabian army that looks to be approaching. I did remember that they cleared this encampment that was here before, so hopefully they're just coming down for that. But we're about to ask ChatGPT what to do about that. Remember, we asked ChatGPT to queue up 3 techs. It picked irrigation, archery, and the wheel. So hopefully we can get something good with the wheel. As part of my next prompt, I'm going to tell it, remember, that we have some techs boosted and ready to research. Something interesting that happened last episode was that we asked ChatGPT what 3 civics to queue up, and it picked early empire, political philosophy, which are great, but then it picked diplomatic service. So we clicked on it all the way over here to get queued up, but we will likely change that. I'll ask ChatGPT probably when we finish political philosophy what it wants to do, if it wants to switch or keep going, because we'll likely start if we enter a war here, we'll need to switch, especially be needing to switch our techs. We are falling behind a little bit behind the AI. We only have 6 science per turn and 3 culture per turn. It would be good to probably spend our gold buying a monument. That would be a good use of it. It's 240, so it would take a few more turns. We might be able to get some gold if we sell some stuff to the AI, but we gotta accumulate stuff first. We'll likely do that by using the settler to claim these marbles, or possibly get a city up here on the coast. We'll do some more exploring with the scout and this warrior. Scout's up here exploring, so that's pretty good. We might have the scout do a loop around here and explore this northern part of our territory. We explored the English Empire pretty well, and the Arabians a little bit. We're headed up to take a look at the Mayans just to see what they're doing. We might have to switch production focus here to military. I would finish this settler and either take it up here to the north or down here to get these marbles. But I think as part of the prompt for this settler, I'm just going to say I've identified 3 settling spots, probably like right here-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say right there for one spot. It will hit the cotton, and then it will eventually go to the copper and horses as well. It's on fresh water, and there's decent areas that we can put some districts down. I'd say we should probably try and get one up here to the north. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe right there on the maze. We'll have to take a look at what's up here. Looks like there's another river over here if we want to settle on fresh water over here. And then we probably just want to claim this area down here so that England stops expanding. This river looks really nice. Got some nice wheat over there for some growth. We also need to push north and claim some of this area with cities. So let's head to ChatGPT and write up a prompt and letting it know about this incoming army and just ask what it wants to do with that. Alright, so just a simple prompt here. The Arabian Cid brought 4 warriors towards us to clear a barbarian encampment, but also look to be approaching our city. Is this concerning? Should anything be done? All it says is check the diplomatic status and monitor the movements, which is true. We should take a turn or 2 just to see if they're moving closer or not. So reinforce our defenses, move warriors in your back to city, get good, that's where they are. Produce additional military units. So I think we'll do that after the settler is produced. And in 4 turns, position scouts strategically to keep an eye on other Arabian units. Okay, that's interesting. Send a delegation or establish trade. We'll look at that. I don't think I'll be able to, but we can try. Check for alliances. We don't have alliances ready yet, but we can even check for city-state alliances. That's a good point. So we'll take a look at these 3 things. All right, so back in the game. We'll move the scout. It said to move it to check to see if any reinforcement armies are on their way. So instead of swinging around down here, we're going to move this way. Alright, we can see they have another warrior coming down. This warrior, I think we will just take a defensive position right here. This one will garrison in the city. And this Slinger, I think we'll keep right there. As part of my next prompt, I'm going to ask if we should upgrade it to an archer to spend the gold, or if we should save the gold for something like a monument. For now, we'll fortify it, because we can always come back to that later. We'll hit the next turn to see what happens with these 4 warriors. So they did move closer, and we saw that this warrior moved down. So I do think a war is coming. So we're going to follow ChatGPT's advice. Try and send a delegation. They can accept. What deal can we make? We could try buying their Diplo favor. Let's see if we can buy it all. For 2 gold.
Money!
Alright, we'll do that. And then another trick we can do is giving them a gift. I don't want to give them all my gold though. So let's just send them a gift of like 50 gold. It's still a lot, still gonna hurt us, but it should improve the relations a bit. So it looks like that went through immediately. I didn't check before, but their relationship with me went up. If that's all that's gonna avoid this war, that's great. So let's go next turn, see what's gonna happen. Move this scout again. Not a great move on my part. Fortify that there. So the warriors didn't even move, which is interesting. They didn't move at all. We do want to move this scout to see if that warrior moved. Ooh, they have a settler on the way. If they didn't have these warriors here, it would be worth declaring war just to steal the settler. But we'd probably lose. Just oh, never mind. Surprise war. Alright. War is incoming. So we got the boost for defensive tactics for the declaration of war on us. We need to keep doing craftsmanship. But with this declaration of war, ChatGPT might want to change some stuff up. As far as city-states go, Vilnius has declared war on us because the Arabian Empire is the suzerain. Let's take a look at what quests they want. Construct a preserve, we probably can't do. Train a heavy chariot, which, interestingly enough, we are researching. Probably won't be able to mine a resource to get the boost, so that'll take a while. Alright, before I do anything else, I'm going to head to ChatGPT and give it this new information. Okay, so I tried to put as much information into this prompt as I can. This one says, Arabia declared a surprise war. 1 turn left on the settler production, 8 turns left on the wheel technology, 4 left on the craftsmanship civic. There's 111 gold. What should be done? And I'm trying to make this prompt as vague, as open as possible so that we can get any kind of response from ChatGPT. Here we go. So I read through this, and what it says is pretty good, and I should let it know that we can upgrade the slinger to an archer. But other than that, what it says is to complete the settler production, okay, good, and then move and protect the settler, then to queue up another archer or warrior. We can do all that, all great stuff. Use gold for emergency unit purchase. So basically just save for defensive unit. Position warrior slinger strategically for defense. We've done that. Fortify and delay. Fortify the warrior to delay. We've done that, so it's on the right track. Medium turn strategy. So continue at the will for the watermill bonus, access to chariots. And then finish craftsmanship for production boost from Magog. Okay. I think that's a good plan. I don't think we should finish the wheel. I think we should switch to something else. Probably for the encampment, head down the lower track for better units. But it says to make a policy change to Agog. Perfect, we can do that. Simply just complete the settler and start producing archer warrior. So next turn, I'll write another prompt, which one it wants to produce, and if it wants to upgrade the slinger to an archer. But for now, let's take our turn following these instructions. Remember, there are these 4 warriors, and they've surrounded our 1 warrior. He's on a really good defensive position. He can survive another turn. I think from all 4 attacks he can survive, and that should get him an upgrade. He has a hit that'll easily get him a promotion. So we're going to heal and fortify. With that heal, he'll for sure get there. We'll let this finish. There's not much of a better position that this warrior can be in, so we'll leave him for now and just run our next turn. I'm going to see if that settler came down this way. Unfortunately, we can't move very far with our scout. What would happen if we were to attack? That's not a bad attack. The only combat bonus, It might be worth it just to attack the city with the scout to feel like he's being attacked, to pull back units, and to get a favorable peace deal with him once we've dealt with these guys. So I think we're going to take a step this way to see if the settlers down here to possibly steal, and if not, I'm going to come back and try and hit the city. Ooh. Okay, I was wrong. So our warrior did not survive, but our settler finished. So I think as part of our prompt right now, we'll ask it if we should upgrade the slinger, where we should settle, and what we should queue up, an archer or warrior here. Either of them is good, but I'll tell it it'll take 6 turns for the warrior and 10 turns for the archer. Okay, so it gives good advice. Upgrade the slinger, which I would expect to happen. Archers have better range and a higher combat score. Queue up a warrior, okay, so that's the decision it wants. Settler safety, assess the risk. Basically, it just says to wait with the settler inside the city and then move it once the immediate threat is neutralized, and then to escort it with the warrior as well. So we're going to do that. If it were me just playing the game, I would wait a turn or two just to make sure we're okay, and then I would not move it escorted because that would leave our city too undefended, or I would wait until we have another warrior to escort it. Right now the warrior's in a defensive position. It's inside the city, which isn't on a hill or better terrain, but it gives the city higher defensive score, so we're still going to keep it there. So other than that, just says upgrade the slinger to an archer, queue up a warrior, and then keep the settler within the city until the area is secure, then escort it once the immediate threat is neutralized. Okay, so let's queue up that warrior. It'll take 6 turns. Let me see if I can change around the production to make it go faster. I think we should keep these. They're high yield tiles. We're growing really fast with them. And then this is our best production tile. We don't really have any others that this citizen can move to that will be better than what it's already doing. Unless we can grow to one of these two over here, we're going to keep it there. So we'll keep the settler here in the city for the next turn. We're going to upgrade the slinger to an archer. That'll help with defending the city. And then with our scout, we're going to move it. Ooh, it would be really good to capture that builder. So I'm going to move it here. And there's that settler also. Okay, so our scout got hit by the villainous city, and the builder moved back into the city. So we're going to head over here, see if we can't get eyes on that settler. Okay, it's right there. It will likely move to one of these 2 tiles. So we'll move down again. We might get hit with that warrior, but at least we know it's there now. We can see 5 warriors, and they are starting to hit our city. So we can use the archer to attack now. I'm going to write a simple prompt that I'm not going to show, but I'll just ask it how we should attack with our archer. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT how it wants it to attack. It said to keep the warrior and settler inside the city with the warrior fortified. The archer, it wants to attack either the closest or weakest. In this case, it's both, so we'll attack this guy. It actually said to first attack the slinger, but it's not within range, so we can't do that. We're going to move this scout. It's getting hit with a chariot now, but we're going to take this settler. It won't be able to get hits. We're going to see if we can escape. Looks like the combat score went up, so they finished a unit in this city. So we might not be able to squeak through, but we're going to try just an escape through here. Another thing that ChatGPT said as part of this prompt is to seek diplomatic relations with other civs. So we're going to talk to both of these civs and see if they've met the Arabian Empire. So the Mayans have the option to go to war. And we can do it if we just give them gold. Usually you can just send 1 gold. Ooh, it doesn't work that time. But we can do it for 6 gold and 10. That's not really worth it right now. We'll give it another turn to see if that'll change. But we'll talk to the English Empire right now. Looks like they can't go to war anyway. Okay, so for some reason, we can't get Elizabeth, the English Empire, into this war. There's an offer blocking the deal. They're probably friends, is what it is. Which kind of sucks. We'd like them to join. Let's see if we can buy open borders. Costing 11 gold. We can wait until we also can give up our borders to them. So unfortunately, we can either spend all our gold, basically, to get the mines into the war, or we can't get any more help. We haven't met enough city-states, and their quests we can't do quite yet. But luckily, craftsmanship finishes next turn, so we can plug in a GOG to get our military producing faster. It'll go from 4 to 2 turns on this. And then we can pump out some more military. But we gotta survive that long.
Skill without imagination is craftsmanship, and gives us many useful objects.
Okay, so we finished craftsmanship, so we're going to plug in a GOG right now. This would help, plugging in God King to get a Pantheon. Also urban planning would help. It didn't tell us to change it. But either of those two should be plugged in. God King should have been plugged in, and right now, we should have been able to switch in urban planning. We should have gotten our Pantheon right now to be able to switch in urban planning. But ChatGPT said to plug in caravanseries, and it hasn't said to switch it out. So we're going to keep it there. We will likely lose this city next turn and lose the game. I think that one mistake hurt a lot. It wasn't the worst thing. We're going to fight out this last turn, but I don't think we will be able to make it much farther than this. I don't even think we should take the promotion on this archer. We should try and hit this guy, because I think he'll die. This guy isn't strong enough to attack the city, so only these two are, which is still probably enough to take the city. So we're probably going to lose this turn. There were some mistakes that ChatGPT made. I think we should have researched either astrology, writing, or bronzeworking to get any one of these 3 districts out. Even finding iron would have helped us. Unfortunately, as far as civics go, we did the best we could. We're going to start early Empire, and it's going to take 28 turns. Because I'm at war, I would have switched into military tradition. It'll still take 12 turns, but the flanking bonus would help a little bit. So we'll play out this turn. We did successfully take the settler, and we're going to keep moving it away. We'll see if we can escape with that. It's not going to do us much good if we can't survive this next turn. So here we go. We're going to follow ChatGPT's instructions to take out either the weakest or closest. I think we can hit and destroy this one. This closest one. Good, we got it. This one should destroy itself on the city and not do much damage, so I'm worried about these two. If we were to attack outside, it probably would help, so I think I will. I'll attack with this warrior. It shouldn't lower our combat score, but it will lower the health and reduce his effectiveness against the city. Okay, I'm going to hit next turn, and we're going to see if we lost. Alright, and as you can see,
From the dust,
ChatGPT cannot play Civ 6. That was an unfortunate game. Arabia came to attack us very early and very quickly and very hard. It's unlikely if even a player could survive that, but ChatGPT made a couple mistakes. Its choices of technology and policies to plug in were horrible. It told us to make a builder instead of settler or another unit or something, and its choice of civic was strange, but it ultimately didn't matter. The game was all around strange because in the beginning it told us to pick Shaka of the Zulu because it's a warlike civ, but then it didn't use Shaka's abilities at all. We should have tried to go for the encampment, its unique district, and to start early war, or we should have picked a more economic or religious or scientific civ to play into the strengths of that civ. It's a very interesting game. I'm excited to start something else. So let me know if you guys want to see another series with a different leader, trying again with ChatGPT to see if we can win the game. Just taking a look quick at the graphs here. Where this orange, we constructed 0 buildings, while we can actually look and see what the other civs were. So we had met English, looks like Greece is in it, Australia, Portugal, Tamiris, I can't remember the name of the first civ, the Mayans, Arabia, and then a bunch of city-states. The graph on here that's usually funny to see, but doesn't even look like it exists on here, is the total religions founded. So it looks like no one even founded a religion. So we can take a look at the faith. We accumulated almost 0 faith because of the bad policy decision of the AI. We should have kept God King in longer to get our pantheon. But it looks like Tamiris actually started earning a ton of faith. So she probably had a holy site or 2. This was probably the first holy site construction, and probably looks like a second one. Greece also looks like it had a holy site, so they were getting lots of faith. Another good one to look at is science. Looks like Australia was taking off, so it had probably at least one campus district built. Our science was pretty pathetic the entire game. Number of combats is interesting. We're definitely on the high end of that, as well as the Arabians, and we're the only one with a city lost. That's embarrassing and pathetic. We did have a high amount of units killed because of our war. We didn't get to found our second city, even though we had stolen a settler and produced one. Our gold amount, we spent it a couple times. I felt like our use of the gold, we did our best. We weren't accumulating very much, so we did what we could with it. And ultimately, if we would have paid the Mayans to get in the war, it wouldn't have mattered, because we were dead in about 3 turns. We were playing with the Extreme Eras mode, which was interesting. We didn't get to see it because we didn't make it out of the Ancient Era, but we didn't even make that much era score. Who Tamiris looks like was making a ton of era score. As far as wars declared, looks like Greece actually declared war on someone, which was Portugal. Looks like only 2 wonders were completed. The Mayans got 1, and Tamiris 3 wonders. Looks like the Australians got 1 as well. And finally, player score. We were below score the entire game. I feel like that's pretty normal. Through 40 turns, you're usually below score before you start hitting the ramp to accelerate and exponentially grow. Tamiris looks like she was running away with the game, though. Not far behind was the Australians, which are both powerful civs. Anyways, thanks for watching this series, this episode. It's a short one because we got invaded and taken over very quickly by the Arabian Empire. I don't fully feel like it was ChatGPT's fault. That was a very successful attack by the Arabians, very hard to defend anyway, even by a human player. Though ChatGPT did make early mistakes that could have helped prevent or to be in a better position for this war. I guess me, myself, as a human, made a mistake in that when we met the Arabians, I forgot to send them a delegation, which hurt our relationship. And because they are an aggressive warlike civ anyway, they came straight for me and attacked. I'll go ahead and leave that here for now then. Thanks again for watching. Please let me know if you have any suggestions as far as editing or recording goes. I'm going to continue making videos. I think I have a great idea for a next series that's coming up. Let me know if you want to see a rerun of this series, either with the same leader or different leader, having ChatGPT play the game. I'm thinking about inputting screenshots of the game or playing exactly word for word what ChatGPT tells me to do, or to ultimately change some settings to make the game a bit easier, or see what difficulty realistically ChatGPT could handle. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.